Hey there, thanks for tuning in. Today I wanted to show you a comparison between two decks that I got. They're both borderless decks. One is the Borderless Edition Smith-Waite Tarot deck. And it is 2017 US Game Systems. The other one is the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot. So this is the one that I had really wanted. I was pretty excited about getting it. I have the Radiant Rider-Waite deck, and it's beautiful. I didn't have any of the more traditional Rider-Waite decks, so I thought, well, this looks really great. I loved the color that I had seen in looking at videos of it. The colors were quite moody and deep, and I thought they're quite lovely. So wasn't disappointed. The box was, beautiful box, nice, and comes with the little book. So yeah, I was pretty excited to order that. A friend of mine, she got this one, but decided after she had seen some reviews on it that she didn't want it. She didn't like the space that was left around where the frame would be from the border, and so she actually traded me the deck for two oracle decks that I had that I wasn't super fond of, but she wanted to add to her collection. So now the weird thing was that sometimes decks look a lot better in video, I think, than they do when you actually get them, and this was the case for me with the Radiant Wise. So I'm just going to start doing this, and we'll see some of the... Okay, and I apologize for the glare. But so on this side we have the Radiant Wise, this one, Radiant Wise Spirit, and on this one we have the Borderless Smith-Waite Tarot. So one of the first things I realized about the Radiant Wise Spirit is that the pictures seem to me to be very claustrophobic. They're kind of chop things off a little bit. So yeah, his hand is like just to the edge and stuff like that. I didn't really like that. So whoop, put these cards down over here. So I'm just going to go through these and show the difference between the two. So she didn't like how, if you notice that this card here, you see the space. I mean, it can be hard when you want to go borderless because either you have to enlarge the image so it fits proportionately, or I guess you sort of have that space. So the one thing about the Radiant is that the lines are very blurred. Not really a fan of it. There you go. This one's a little bit clearer. Oh, I should show you to the backs. The backs. So again, this is the Radiant. This is the... Okay. So that we're not here all day, I'll just try to do a glare. Again, you have lots of space. The one a little bit chopped with the other. So the deepness of the color on this one is quite nice, but I really decided that I actually prefer the other better. So yeah, the color color's definitely deeper in the other, but the faces are so different. Also, some of the detail you kind of tend to miss. There's a couple cards that it really shows out with, and I'll get to those. So the Hierophant. Oop. This card is one of the ones, like, look at this, look at the face on the Sphinx there on the right. You know, comparatively, they're quite different. And then here's another one that really I didn't like. Look at the lion's face. It's just kind of looks like a mess to me. There you go. The color is lovely. The way that they do the gradient of the color, that is definitely beautiful. But they're also really glossy, and I'm not a fan of that. The Smith-Waite Borderless, this one, is a satin matte. It's quite nice. And here, so you have here, you know, our lovely Hermit, one of my favorite cards. You notice here, his lantern is almost chopped off there at the edge. And these are the one where the face really bothers me. Again, seems really closed off because it's filling up the whole space. In some cases, I'll show you that they also aired a few other spots as well by leaving that space. And the Death card. Here's another example of what's happened here. So if you look at the Borderless Smith-Waite deck, you can quite well make out the characters at the bottom. The person laying on the ground, and behind the horse here, you can see the towers, pillars from the Moon card. But they're really kind of hard to see in this. Everything's just such a jumbled mess. And again, oddly, it seems to show up more clear on video than it does in real life. I mean, this is also really, it's super glossy. This is not. Again, the color of this, though, is lovely, but and the face is a bit different. Okay, Devil is the same, so I'm not going to show that. Again, just some blurred lines. Now, I love the coloring of the star card in this, in the Radiant Wise. The coloring is beautiful. So that was a plus for me because the star card is one of my favorite cards. But again, it's just kind of jammed in there. You can see it's kind of cuts off the edge a little bit. And the moon, again, they did beautiful with the sky, the colors of the sky. Now this one they both made. Can you spot the oops in both these cards? So on this one, we're missing the rays of the sun right over there. they did not follow through. And on this one, this sunflower is missing its spots. So both of them are a little bit of a fail on this one. And the face on these two are so different. Just seems so closed in. The mountain color in the background is very different as well. Brown as opposed to gray, but the eye there, it's just really strange. Here's an example of the face. The lion and the bull face here at the bottom. Just really, it almost looks like it was very hastily scribbled together, like somebody put tracing paper over and traced it in black felt pen or something, you know, and then enlarged it. And the face is here too, again, the face of the King of Cups. So it's like, you know, I really love the colors, but expressions and stuff are really important to me. Maybe to you it's not a big deal, but, and look here, you can barely see that that's a fish jumping out, like it's so chopped off. Barely noticing the boat in the back either, because the boat is sort of chopped at the side. And those are, you know, for a lot of people it doesn't matter, but a lot of people, they really look at the details of all the cards, and if you can't see the details. So, and here's one of the cards lacking detail as well. So she is very thick-lined. You can barely tell that the cherub in the bottom of her throne is holding a fish. Very noticeable here that he's holding a fish. The face is slightly different as well. I mean, it's funny because I wasn't expecting to really like the Smith-Waite tarot deck as much, because I really loved the colors. I thought I would, but then when I actually got them both, I was looking, I thought, wow, you know, I really prefer the Smith-Waite. It's just, I mean, the colors aren't as bold, but the card stock feels amazing. The box isn't fancy, it's just a regular old box. So, Page of Cups is the same, so I'm not going to go through all of these. And here again, this is just one of those sort of chops off, you know, the rainbow, the cup. I mean, you have the edge of the cup is chopped off in the card. It's just kind of weird to me. Okay, bear with me. In here, this is one of my stalker cards. Card I always seem to draw for myself. And in this one, you really get the distance, you know, of the card, the cups there. And I mean, I love the color of the sky in this one, but the cups are just, everything's so jammed together in there that it just doesn't stand out the same to me as this. And there is still a moodiness to that grayish blue of the sky. It's still, you know, not quite the same, but, you know, like this was one that I was really excited about because I quite love this card. So that one was good. Although the thing is that with the Radiant, you can't, Radiant Wise, you can't really even see that the spillage there. I mean, here it's really obvious that the cups have spilled. And any other pet peeves I have? See, don't get me wrong, the colors are gorgeous, but you lose a lot of. Another thing that was pointed out was this. So when we get into the court cards, I mean the pips, the color of the hand. So it looks beautiful. Definitely, I love the blues and everything. You know, it's just great. But the hand is flesh colored, which some people say is just kind of weird. there's so much going on in this picture that, you can't really tell so much here, but in the card on this one, you can really see the features in the picture better. One card I do like that I feel that they did better with was, I really like their version of the Queen of Pentacles. Though the rabbit is white, and not brown. I do really like the Radiant quite a bit. Just feel it really makes her pop a bit. It adds shine to her, to the bridge of her nose and stuff. It's done well. I do like that quite a bit. I'm just gonna see. But yeah, so I mean, this is another card that you really notice, like how chopped that is. There's a little child there, just sort of shoved into the picture. You really barely see what's going on there. Whereas here, you really can tell. You really get. Plus, you even get her signature, Pixie signatures, chopped. And the face is a bit different. Let's see if there's another card in there that really stood out for me. But yeah, so I was kind of disappointed with the deck, really. I mean, the colors were beautiful, and that was what drew me to them. But, it just sort of became like the glossiness and the lack of detail, the claustrophobic feeling of things being sort of, everything just being sort of chopped off at the edges. And so in this one, in the Ace of Pentacles, in this one, you can make out that those are supposed to be flowers on stalks, like lilies. I know this part here, these ones are a little bit messy, but you can see that those are supposed to be lilies. Okay, and this one, not really sure what happened there, but just almost looks like gaps in the fence. Mountain color is different too. So definitely the color is nice in them, but I don't know that that is enough. Oh, here's the sad King of Swords. He looks so sad. Sad king. And I'm not sure if that is enough of a reason to get that one over this. Like, really, I prefer this one for sure. And the face, like, it's just so much different. What do you think? Have you tried with either of these decks? Oops. He looks kind of frightened there. Do you have a preference between the two, or if so, let me know. Maybe I'm right off the mark here, but I was just really expecting to totally love the Radiant Wise, and I just didn't. I think that those are the only ones that had the major issues to me. Just overall, like I said, just that feeling of them being sort of chopped off and missing detail. Some of the expressions just are a little bit off and weird, and the quality just does not feel as good as the others. They just feel great. Another difference, one that I kind of liked though, was in this card here. You see, I do like the color, that they put the color in the water. That looks neat. But the he's not wearing shoes. Looks like he's wearing his socks there, rather than shoes. There we go here. Bear with me a minute. There we go. That one. So here is, whoops. I wasn't sure if I was going to do this tonight because it's late. but boyfriend is watching YouTube videos, and I was like, yeah, it's good enough time. But yeah, very different. Like the color looks really great, but he's got bare feet here, and he's got shoes here. And here I always kind of looked at this one as, it's kind of like the sunset, you know, that's why the water is that golden color. Whereas earlier when he's looking out, earlier in the day, it's more blue looking out. But yeah, so I think that that's about it. It's not really, wasn't really my favorite. I was a little bit disappointed, but I've seen lots of comparisons between the two decks, and so I just wanted to sort of offer my thoughts on the two. And just as a heads up, that although this is beautiful, the colors in a beautiful, beautiful box too, but the quality of this one is much better. So if you're really looking for a borderless version that's a little bit more true to the image, well, minus the missing sun rays, that this might be something you prefer. And I mean, they're both beautiful, but I just feel like the gloss on this one and the cut off sort of feel, the missing of some of the detail, just makes it kind of lesser of the two. But again, that's just my personal opinion, and I wanted to sort of point that out to you. And that's about it. So if you have any thoughts on that, or if you prefer one or the other, I'd love to hear it. And again, thanks so much for sitting here with me for this full 22 minutes while I complained about the cards, and I hope you have yourself a fantastic day, night, or whatever it may be. Cheers!